that government is doing very well.
Yes.
Government is trying to play its part. Now, nationally, the teacher-pupil ratio is not badly off, okay? If you look at the number of teachers in the country vis-a-vis the number of pupils, you will see that we are not doing badly, as one would say. But it is not as good as we would like it to be. Now, the problem comes in the issue as far as distribution is concerned. So you find that there's a concentration of more teachers in specific areas, in the urban areas specifically, and in areas that are probably more economically empowered. So you find that there's a larger concentration. So many areas are left without teachers. This is why you will go to certain schools in Nairobi, for example. You will find there's so many teachers.
Yes,
but
they
then
could even have a surplus.
A surplus.
Yeah.
And then you go in the rural areas where we have more Kenyans living, then you find a school has probably 1 or 2 teachers. So we have 60% of Kenya's population in the rural areas.
Yeah.
Our survey is nationally representative. So the fact that more Kenyans are saying that teacher shortage is a problem is not something that should surprise us. It's the issue of distribution that they're talking about. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they also talk about huge number of the high number of students in schools vis-a-vis the
classroom,
equipment, the classrooms,
the infrastructure.
Books,
yes,
the infrastructure.
They're talking about infrastructure. They're talking about classroom sizes. They're talking about high number of pupils. Again, for them, these are things that they can experience because they send their children to these schools every day and they attend some of these meetings. Remember, up to 80% of parents in the survey say they have, in the last few months, visited a school to discuss certain issues with the teachers. So, and they are able to see for themselves the kind of facilities they have. They are able to see for themselves the number of pupils and the number of teachers that they have. Yeah. So these are their citizens' experiences. Yeah.
So then from where you sit, Victor, these polls, you consistently do it under your program.
Yes.
Do you think this has largely hampered or tampered with the quality of education in schools?
Well, as a matter, I could say this, when you don't have enough teachers and when you don't have infrastructure, the issue of quality is definitely affected because for a long time, our Twaweza program has consistently showed that children are going to school, but they're not learning. Yeah. A good number of children in class 3 cannot do class 2 work. So, and this we have done as long as we have always had the free primary education. So that ties into the issue of quality, the number of teachers in a school, the infrastructure, but also presents another conversation that we have not been having for a long time. The overall context in which learning is taking place. Learning does not just take place in school. Learning starts taking place from home when the parent says, we are sending this child to school. But it does not end there. It comes with a commitment from the parent. It comes with following up. Is my child actually attending classes? Is he or she attending, going to school or playing truancy? So a community commitment is what is missing in this conversation. And one of the things we must now start having as a nation is how do we bring on board all stakeholders? In some places, teachers are going to class. In fact, TSC has TPAD, which monitors the presence of our pupils or teachers in classrooms. But what we don't know is whether in the classroom, learning is taking place. You standing here, so everybody can tell you're working. Yes. But if there is no camera, nobody would know what is happening. So the teachers are probably going to school, they're going to class, but the quality of learning taking place is not certain. Now, the children are going to school, but in some cases you find that there's so much poverty that in one of the areas, some of the areas we've visited in the past, you find children are leaving school to go and look for food themselves. So again, who do you blame? You can't blame government for that, in a way. Okay.
You talk about the need for holistic involvement for everyone, and as I was just going through some of your findings, I saw that about 8 out of 10 Kenyans think that it is everyone's responsibility to ensure that this works. So where's the disconnect? We know that everyone needs to be part of this conversation, but somehow we are falling short.
So the disconnect, what needs to happen is action. The good thing is parents are acknowledging, citizens are saying, we know there's a part we need to play because government is playing its part, like I've said, and the teachers are probably playing. So we need to start having community conversations. What in one of the programs we have recently piloted is called Public Agency, where teachers come parents come, the community, the leaders in the community come and discuss their problems, their local problems. In some places where we have piloted this program, what we have seen is that actually some parents are even saying, if teachers don't have food, we will donate some food so that they don't have to leave school to go and look for food. And some are saying, if we can help with some food for the children to stay in class, we will. So people are willing, citizens are willing to do something to ensure that learning is taking place. And this happened in areas where we noted that learning outcomes were very low, and we needed to just see if that sensitization aspect can bring the community on board. So it is something that can work, but it needs to be taken to the next level, large scale, where the community, the Ministry of Education, Teacher Service Commission, they feel a part of this conversation. They feel like, because the TSC will tell you we are employing teachers. Yes. And the head teachers and the teachers will say we are in school. But the missing link is that that openness, that engagement where every head teacher in the school is able to account for the funds without feeling like when he or she invites the teachers to school, then he's going to be attacked. That openness is what is going to bring the change that we're looking for. Because Victor, there's that commitment, there's overall commitment is there. Yeah.
The commitment is there, but the action lacks.
The action, taking things to the next level. Yeah.
This poll comes at a time when the country is running the pilot project for the 2663.
Yeah.
And from your statistics, the numbers of the number of citizens who are actually aware of how this works is very low. What are the dangers, given that we have many parents in that particular group who will be taking their children to school, but they have absolutely no idea what's going to happen?
What should happen? What's going to happen, or what should happen? Let me start with what should happen. What should happen is, this is the time the Ministry of Education again needs to think of how to sensitize the community, the parents, that we are rolling a new program. This program comes with these benefits, and so that it is embraced, so that at the time of evaluation, because after the pilot, some evaluation has to happen as to what has worked, what will work, or what will not work. Parents should be able to give their input, because if parents don't give their input, they will not own this curriculum. They will not own it, and it will become very hard to implement. So what will happen at the end of the day is a lot of criticism will be all over. And even in places or where in areas it's working, people will be laid back and saying, we don't think it's working. So involve the community. Tell them this is what is happening. This, because that new curriculum has an aspect of community learning service or program. And these are things that they already need to start getting to know, because it will require at some point that the community is in. So sensitize, engage, communicate what they're doing, because some of these things are really good things. But if citizens don't know, a poll like this will come out and people will feel like, you see, Twaweza is just saying negative things about the government, when in real sense it's not negative. It's the lack of information that causing all this.
Victor, thank you. Always a pleasure to have you here on KTN News Desk. Victor Ateng is the Senior Programs Manager at Twaweza East Africa. Sauti za Wananchi, as we just take a look at that poll that was released today by Twaweza East Africa on matters education, the understanding